Alrighty, guys. Hello, Privit. So we just
We did it. I did it. I am still here, alive, and I survived.
oh no, oh no.
This is the evening of Saturday, and this morning we went ahead and we did the ayahuasca, and I had so many reservations, like, and fears and trepidations to do it, and here we are. I thought honestly I could die, like have a heart attack or something like that, and I'm alive.
She's alive. Yeah, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna explain what we can of our journey, and I am gonna start off by letting Christina share because that is in the order of which it hit us.
True. I mean, as I said, it was kind of like scary. And then it's kind of a drink that you take. It's a tea. So the first cup of tea I took, I didn't really feel that much, but took it with so much fear and resistance. Like I didn't really want it to do anything for me. And so the way they explain it is like Mother Ayahuasca, which is this plant medicine. It like does what you need it to do. So pretty much, I realized like after an hour waiting for something to happen and nothing happened, I realized like I didn't do it for myself. I kind of just did it like in order to like, to just like belong and to be accepted. And like I know Joshua really wanted me to do it, and not that I was like forced or pressured or anything. Like he just really wanted me to do it, and I didn't want to like disappoint him. So I did it, but it wasn't really like 100% for me. So nothing worked. And then after an hour I realized, you know what, God like is not sending me any lessons, or there's like no experience here. So I think right now, in order for me to really have the experience and pull it towards me, I have to actually go after a second cup. And like some people were taking 2, 3, 4 cups, so I was just resisting taking that second one. So when I took the second one, I did it for myself, and I did it, with like courage. And I just like stepped forward and I pulled the experience towards me. And then it like really hit me, and it was rough, to be honest with you. Like a lot came up for me, like a lot of
One
resistance
second,
and
can you
fear.
hold this?
Yeah, because we're in the car again, and we're trying to like
Yep,
make
she's
this
gonna
work.
cover the camera just for a moment. All right,
Yeah.
guys, we got to make this work, and what we're doing is not working. So I'll open the door, and then we're
Yeah,
good to
but
go.
anyway, so and then like honestly, like I saw a lot of colors. I saw like so many beautiful colors. Like I still see
Like
them.
what? Share some.
Gold, like orange, like plethora of like gold colors, like yellow, orange, red, like such beautiful and like amazing geometrical shapes, like everything. And I was like, wow, where am I? But it was so overwhelming that my like ego, my persona was like, no, 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 like I don't want to be overwhelmed by this. I was so scared. And like that's how I am in life, like just controlling everything, like something that's like I can't control. I get overwhelmed and I resist it, and it creates a lot of tension in my body. So I was just present to how much I resist and how much like my self-talk, like negative self-talk. Um so it was like kind of painful for a while, and then I purged, and then when I did that, like it all went away.
When she says she purged, she threw up. Okay,
Right.
guys.
That's what
That's
purging
that's what
means.
purging is. And I do want to share something right now, just because I think you guys really need to understand that when we explain what happened during ayahuasca, it's hard to explain.
Yeah, it was super hard to explain, and it's also different for everybody. There were like 30 people there, and like some people like felt like healing from some like diseases. Some people just have like super blissed out euphoria. Some people got answers to the questions they asked, like in terms of their relationships. So everybody got a different thing. So my experience will completely is different than yours will ever be,
Yeah.
and Joshua's.
Yeah, and not only that, but I do realize that part of this is all of the other people that are pulled into this experience in terms of taking ayahuasca. It's a full group experience as well as a personal experience. And when we all start sharing in the group what we experienced, everyone else is like, I get that. It's like, oh yeah, that's what I needed to hear. And like it's in those shares sometimes that you actually get what you
Came back to
originally
get.
go to get.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's out there in the world is an answer for you. The answer is always within, but
Mm-hmm.
it's ayahuasca allows you to see and experience and be what it is that you are looking for in your life.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I wanted you to move it this way. Nice. That's better. Yeah, and anyway, so like I saw some visions and stuff like that, and like I think like another important thing I saw is was just like not letting go. Like what I say to myself, I create. So if I say I'm sick, like I'm gonna be sick, versus just saying I'm healthy. So like I get to create and choose what I want. And another cool thing was like I saw this guy in my vision, and it's super weird. Like maybe it's gonna freak you guys out because like he's my husband, and obviously we're not related or anything. But I saw him as my twin brother. Like I saw him like, oh my god, that's my twin, that's my brother. Like I don't know why. Like I'm not just a brother, a twin brother. And like, but it was like a very strong knowing that we are like twins. And I don't know if it's like from like the past life that we were ever twins or where is it coming from, but like it was
Yeah.
like super there. Like I was like he's me, like he's my mirror. Like I don't know, he's my twin brother.
Well, and you know, and this is, I mean, obviously everyone is going to interpret it however they want to interpret it, but there was definitely one of the ladies here that shared with us as well. It's like when you have that knowingness, it's sometimes um, is what they call a twin flame. For those of you who know what a twin flame is, but the way she expressed it to me was something new that I've heard. Because I mean, I've even done some research on what a twin flame is, but what she's saying is what she said to me was that it's a soul contract that we make before coming into this expression of life for
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. That our life is so big that I don't want to go into this world as one.
Yeah.
So we split our one soul into two bodies. And therefore, and she was saying like that is what you would call your twin flame, is that, you know, it's like it's you guys are out to create something huge in life, which is true. I'd
Yeah.
say like we definitely both agree. Like I see Christina as someone, a beautiful, powerful, loving woman, and just like I'm like, I definitely want that woman in my life for the rest of my life, and I know she expresses the same to me. Um, I always think that I have that expression more of about her than she does of me, but
No.
we won't fight about that. Hi.
But
Okay.
anyway,
Yeah.
so that was my experience in a nutshell. I think tonight I'm gonna still integrate more. I'm still kind of like in it a little bit, like kind of like dizzy a little bit, and just like working through stuff. So I think maybe tomorrow I can share if there's anything else.
Awesome. Awesome. So, no,
And for you,
can you
babe?
hold it? Like my arm starting
Yeah.
to get tired here. Let me turn it this way. All right, guys, we're gonna do a little switcheroo on you. Okay. Sorry to confuse you with our cameras. Anyway, so I'll go ahead and share. And for me and my experience, um, so I had 3 cups of ayahuasca. It's the most I've done yet throughout the whole ceremony.
Right.
I almost forgot what it was called. Throughout the whole ceremony, nothing happened. And I honestly was at a little bit of disappointment because Christina looks over to me and I'm just have it that, oh, I just opened, like I closed my eyes for a moment, then I opened my eyes. But apparently I was out for 3 hours and I didn't even know. And then so when she's like, oh, yeah, that's it, we're done. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, we're just getting started. She's like, no, they did the last call like 3 hours ago. And I was like, I was literally shocked and I didn't want to say it because I was kind of embarrassed. And I'm like, I had 3 doses of ayahuasca. How the heck did I not experience anything? And like, so I was just like really concerned about it. And then we had other people come up to us and share with us. And one of the leaders, she came up to us and I told her about it and she's like, oh, you know, maybe it might hit later, or, you know, maybe if you come back and do ayahuasca again, you know, it'll hit. And I was just like, oh yeah, that's cool. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. So yeah, so that was it for me for a moment. And then even Nina, I'll just say her name, who was actually a past client of mine when I lived in Modesto. She was such a sweetheart. It was so good to see her again after 2 years.
Mm.
Um, and she expressed to me, she's like, oh, like when you do it with, she's like, in my experience, when couples do it together, there's usually one looking out for the other. So maybe that's why you didn't get to experience
Yeah.
it. So like, and I'm sharing this because that is actually, I mean, it's true for me, because whenever I saw Christina, like really like any little sign that something was like uncomfortable or going wrong for her, I was like trying to like mind control the helpers to come support her, because I
Mm.
was just like, where the heck? Like these people need to be there every second she's not feeling well.
I
So
know.
like,
Thank you
so
for
I
the
was just
good
like
one.
trying to like control people with my mystical mind powers, which I don't have. But
You have
yeah, so it
them.
was just so funny for me, because I was like, where the heck are they? They need to make sure she's okay. And I mean, there was one moment where Christina saw one of the helpers as a demon, and it was so funny because I was just like, we need to get her a new helper. But like, I didn't share that until now. I'm actually expressing this for the first time, so Christina's barely hearing this. But I
That's
was like,
fine.
I need to get her a new helper because this one's a demon. But
It
everything
wasn't though.
everything
It
worked
was our
out perfect.
fears, and that's the
Yeah,
thing, because I don't want to like scare people,
yeah,
especially if
yeah,
we're
yeah.
into it. I mean, it wasn't anything like that. There was no demons. Like we make up demons in our heads. Like there are fears, and it's like just like it's how it's we project it onto people, and it's like that's what happened. Like I'm projecting onto her some fears, where in fact this lady was like so full of love and so full of power and so full of support, and like really led me with safety and love, like led me home, like really. So yeah, I just
Yeah,
wanted to say that.
yeah, yeah.
And so yeah, like I
Uh,
think, good. Well, I
well,
mean, I guess, probably you didn't have a full experience, because I feel like you were a little bit like worried about me, even though you try to like focus on yourself. But since it was my first time, and I was like honestly tripping hard, like I was so scared. I was like crying ahead of time. And I feel like it was a lot for him, like knowing it's my first time. So even though he tried to focus on his own journey, it doesn't sound like he really let himself like fully go into it.
at first. Okay. So, and this is true for the whole first 5 hours of the ceremony. So we started doing this around what, like 11, 12,
10:30.
10:30,
Mm-hmm.
10:30, and I don't even know what time supposedly
Like
we
around
stopped.
4.
So 10:30 to 4 p.m., 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., nothing. I laid down, closed my eyes for 10 minutes apparently, but it wasn't. And then, yeah, so I was woken up shockingly and told that that was it. And I was like, no, I hadn't even started yet, which is absolutely true. I hadn't started yet. So everyone was kind of getting up, and then they had food. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to eat. And Gloria, yeah, I try not to use names, but whatever.
Oh, you've been
Um,
using a lot of
yeah, I know
names
I'm
already.
trying not to use it, but I'm going to use everyone's. Uh,
But what
no,
did you get for
yeah,
your
I'm
supper?
getting there. I'm getting there. But yeah, so I was told that like, oh, sometimes when you eat, like sometimes it'll come up, or when you go to sleep, it'll come up. So I was just like, whatever. I ate. I was chilling, and Christina was sharing with me. And as she was sharing, I finally started seeing colors. Like I was seeing those gold, green, uh, like I was starting to see like golden green kind of like shifting and like twisting, and it started like opening up like a flower, and it was like so like pulling me in. And so I started getting nauseous, so I started breathing. Like she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, no, no, no. I'm just like, I'm starting to feel it. I feel a little nauseous. So I think she was starting to get a little concerned about like what was going on with me. And then like I was like, I think I just need to lay for a little bit more. And she's like, okay, yeah, just lay, just lay. So I started laying down, and then they started opening up the floor for shares. And then like when they started doing that, I think is that when I started purging.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when they did that, like I was like, oh, I need to throw up. I was like, oh, I need my bucket, and like I literally like moved instantaneously. I reached for the bucket. I'm glad it was there, because if it wasn't there, I would have like I already threw up in my mouth. And then and
Gross.
then I was like, and like the next step, I grabbed the bucket, pulled it in front of my face, and then like everything just came out. And I don't know how. Well, I had a little bit of food, but even before then, I purged and like I threw up after my second dose. I don't even know how I filled up as much as I did. Both Christina and I fasted, so that was bizarre. So this
My
time I
arm is
actually
starting to hurt.
okay. So we're gonna do one more switcheroo like so. Okay, and I hope the camera shifts
I
with
think it
us.
might not.
Okay, whatever. If not, we're just gonna be upside down, sideways, and all around. But yeah, so it was then that I finally purged, and then I was like, yo, like I'm going in it now. Like so I laid down, covered my face with the blanket, and like as everyone was starting to share, like I was starting to like get those things that actually I came here for, which as if you guys will see in the video previously, but I came here to like really have some completion, like really see what my about anger about women is and like what's really there for me, and also see to see and learn what it is to be a man for my family and for uh, first and foremost my wife, and then also for just my family, and then as a businessman for the world, you know. And how do I expand myself as a man in this world that's conscious and loving and abundant. um, and I got to experience that. And as everyone was sharing, like I started like feeling and embodying what they were sharing, and like I literally have this chronic tension on my right side of my neck and in my shoulder, and everything was adjusting and releasing, and I felt like literally my body adjusted itself. And as people were sharing, like once I was adjusted, I was like, wow, like this is who I am. and and then I was like, if I want to grow, I can grow any moment, any day, anytime, and I don't need anything else. I just like have to be willing to um I just have to be willing to grow. And like, and for me, I literally started feeling my body expand and grow, and just like really like it was just so wild, because I'm like, wow, like I'm limitless to as to who I want to expand to be. And I just have to be able to trust myself, listen to the wise words of of my woman, my wife, and just like I know that like she's here to support me and help me grow, and that she's not here to nag at me and complain and tell me um, how what's the word how not enough I am. Like I am enough. And yeah, like that's what it was for me. And of course, like in during that whole thing, it was just as people were sharing, like I saw dimensions opening, things letting go. And my colors were gold and green. So hashtag abundance, yo, gold and green.
Can you
But
close this door? It's getting cold, babe.
it's getting cold.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired, and that's gonna be it for tonight. This was uh, what we can put into words as to what our experience was, and we're gonna get some rest. So we'll see you guys in the morning with another video.
Yep.
We love you guys.
Good night.
Get some good rest, and it's a new day tomorrow. Bye bye.